Hello, I'm Theodore Gioia, and welcome to Fork Tongue, the forum sharpening the way eaters think about food. Today's topic is Donald Trump, McDonald's, and the way Republicans eat, as I take a closer look at Trump's fast food messaging in an attempt to show why it's been so consistently effective for the masses and so consistently dismissed by the experts. Now, we've all seen the photos. Trump posts these pictures all the time, showing him eating fast food, fried chicken, and Big Macs in settings around the globe. His love for fast food has entered the public imagination. Trump has filmed commercials for Pizza Hut and McDonald's, and the New York Times even dubbed him the nation's fast food president.
A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
At this point, it's become a meme and a punchline. This adoration almost approaches allegory, as Michael Wolff reports that Trump allegedly eats cheeseburgers in bed while watching free TVs, which may be the best Trumpian symbol I've come across. But there's something deeper going on here. While commonly chalked up to man of the people populism, there's something interesting and unique with the way Trump uses the presidential quarter pounder as a profoundly effective political symbol. But first, let's take a step back, because there's a long history around the iconography of politicians eating. Meals offer important political staging scenes for soft propaganda and media imagery. We constantly see politicians eating on the campaign trail in an office, and when done effectively, these images provide iconic moments of populist charisma.
What flavor ice cream you were eating?
It was American dream.
But it can go wrong. Minor incidents like Amy Klobuchar eating her salad off a comb, or Mayor Pete's crazy cinnamon roll photo become warning signs about a candidate. And faux pas are especially easy in the arena of food because meals are truly relatable. Eating is universal, a shared ground where everyone has the same experience, and the plumber can pass judgment on the way the president eats his pizza. For instance, the New York Post has blasted Mayor de Blasio for his many faux pas, from his failing at chopsticks, eating pizza with a fork, and violating the sacred New York bagel tradition by proclaiming his standard order is a whole wheat bagel toasted with cream cheese. But there can be greater consequences than bad headlines. Gerald Ford famously struggled to eat a tamale on the campaign trail when he accidentally bit into the corn husk in an incident that some believe cost him the state of Texas and therefore the presidency in 1976. And nowhere is this imagery more prevalent in American politics than the Iowa State Fair, where candidates try to connect with early primary voters. We've seen images of all major American politicians in recent memory eating every type of fried food imaginable. In these moments, politicians must balance between appearing relatable by eating the food of the masses while not unflattering, because Americans want a president who enjoys common food but without losing uncommon poise. However, Republicans weaponize food imagery in a special way to project a strategic cultural contrast with liberals.
For the last few years, they've been pushing you to eat bugs. Bugs. Remember the headline from the Washington Post? Eating bugs can help the environment. Or how about this one from the New York Times? Why aren't we eating more insects? It's bizarre. Why would they want you to eat insects? Well, because eating insects is repulsive and un-American. And of course, therefore, in the eyes of the left, it must be awesome. The more perverse and unnatural...
Conservatives typically favor burgers, steak, and meat as stand-ins for all American values and traditions that are supposedly under threat from leftist policies. Burgers in particular are an ideal symbol for conservatives because they offer a pronounced contrast with the quinoa salads and kale smoothies associated with urban progressive foodies. It's even become a low-key right-wing talking point that Democrats are coming to take your burgers.
They want to take your pickup truck. They want to rebuild your home. They want to take away your hamburgers. This is what Stalin dreamt about but never achieved.
Catch that? Elizabeth Warren says you eat too many cheeseburgers, as if it's any of her business. But that's the thing. She actually thinks it is her business.
Cultured, cosmopolitan, goat's milk latte drinking, avocado toast eating insiders elite.
Yet Trump pushes this iconography to a new extreme. He constantly flaunts his adoration for the Big Mac and McDonald's. Not just any burger, not Shake Shack or the fancy local burger joint, but one that anyone can order. And it's abundantly clear that this is not pandering, but Trump's true personality. His former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, wrote, "On Trump Force One, there were 4 major food groups: McDonald's, KFC, pizza, and Diet Coke. Apparently, his standard McDonald's order is 2 Big Macs, 2 Filet-O-Fish, and a large chocolate shake. He even requested the White House kitchen replicate a Big Mac, but when they failed to meet his standards, he sent his bodyguard out onto the streets to get the real thing." And this incident could be a parable about the failure of the elite to improve on the ordinary joys of the working class. When you think about it, McDonald's is actually the perfect populist symbol for Trump. Why? It's cheap, it's corporate, it's popular, it's meaty and therefore all-American, and most importantly, it's maligned by the elites but beloved by ordinary citizens. That's why it works so well, because fast food resonates with the working class, but goads those pesky coastal elites into sort of condescending mockery. These fast food images, in this sense, operate as a form of elitist baiting. McDonald's is adored by many Americans, despite condemnations and health warnings from the elite. And the reality is that many Americans love McDonald's, even if they won't admit it, just like Donald Trump. So pundits saying you shouldn't eat McDonald's implies that the people who eat greasy things like Big Macs are not part of their group. And if you're not part of the liberal pundits group, that means you're part of Trump's. For a campaign built on backlash, there may be no greater tool to get out the vote than this kind of elitist baiting. But Trump's Big Mac imagery also creates a curious form of inverse empathy. For example, apparently Trump likes burgers with no pickles and extra ketchup, just like me. And though I'm reluctant to admit it, this burger propaganda successfully made me feel a real pang of empathy for Trump. Not as a billionaire, of course, but as just an honest ketchup lover facing down those big city burger snobs. But the power of Trump's McDonald's messaging undoubtedly culminated in the famous championship banquet for Clemson football at the White House during the government shutdown. For this affair, Trump purchased a fast food feast of over 1,000 burgers, McNuggets, pizza, and Burger King fries, presented in ornate paper cups with the presidential seal. The media reaction was swift and merciless, ruthlessly mocking all the details around the event. The Atlantic called the feast a little bit Hieronymus Boss, a little bit Beauty and the Beast. Had Be Our Guest been staged by Willy Wonka and also set in the apocalypse.
To place this order, Trump just walked into a McDonald's and went, "Give me the usual." Trump bought food from McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, and Domino's, or as he calls them, his 4 most trusted advisors.
The president just said one of his favorite foods is 300 hamburgers.
But Big Macs on a silver tray are a powerful metaphor, where the burger represents the average American receiving the silver tray treatment. In this sense, the Big Mac becomes a stand-in for the forgotten men and women of this country. When coal miners, construction workers, or working Americans with a sweet spot for the golden arches encounter this media scorn, what they hear is you don't merit this treatment. Silver trays are for people like us, not greasy things like you, who don't deserve white gloves, who don't deserve the White House, and who don't deserve this country.